How to reset Infinity A03 laptop computer. I just go into Control-Alt-Delete. When you go to the power button, hold down Shift and press Restart. You just keep pressing down on the Shift key. What I've done also over here, I've just downloaded Windows 10 from Microsoft and put it in as a bootable USB. So when this reboots, it just takes a while, of course. Let it shut down properly. I reboot properly, you'll see that it just goes through all that stuff. And then you go to troubleshoot down the bottom. Use a device, the USB drive. And then you go removable device down the bottom here. And it will reboot, and it will boot from the Windows 10 install drive. The screen will end up looking pretty funny, like it's actually in error or something like that, but pretty soon the Windows logo will appear, showing that it's booting up normally. There it is. You'll see the USB light flashing if there's one on it, just signifying it's reading from the USB. I like to put, as I'm in Australia, just drop it down and just make the language, the time and currency format Australia. Can't really change the language, basically English, so just take that little trip and go to Australia. And then next, most of it's just following the bouncing ball. You do the install now. It will start the setup. The next is the drive. It's for some of these, they've got all these different partitions on, and I've found the way to keep it the most simple is just delete all the partitions and start anew. If you don't have the product key, just say I don't have a product key. It can be installed later. In this case, I might just do the education version. Although it does depend on the product key that you have. Accept the license terms. And this one, I just do Windows only. Get rid of everything else. Just delete every partition. It will create its own partition and format it, so you don't really have to do much else except delete all these partitions that you can until you've just got one that's unallocated space. There it is, and just go next, and it will just sort out formatting and all that. There is a little bit of a trick I found with these as well. It will do all its process, and then as part of the process it'll reboot, and then in this case it just picks up the boot from the USB drive all over again and just start the install all over again. So when I see that happen, what I do is just close that window, and it'll say you're cancelling the install, and you go yes, and it'll say it'll reboot, and as soon as it powers down, that's when I take out the USB drive, because if you do it just live while it's doing the install at any part, it may corrupt the USB drive and prevent that USB drive from being used again until you just reinstall the bootable copy of Windows 10 all over again. This should work for other versions of Windows as well. And that's about it. When it ticks down to finishing up, that's when it will start to reboot, and if you're quick you can just take it out, the USB out then. Otherwise, if you do walk away and it does reboot and restart the formatting installation process, just wait for it to have a screen where you can exit out of it, and then take the USB out and restart, and it will then do the second part of the Windows install.